Hello, welcome to Giants Tarot on December the 14th, December being the month of perseverance. We've got, we're going to just jump straight in. In Giants Tarot, we read things out for each day of the year because there is so much written about each day of the year. All of the tarot and the cartomancy cards all have date-specific links. So these are the cards for today, from ages of old and for now. Okay, jumping in, we're going to look at the cartomancy for today. The birth emblem for the 14th of December is the Four of Clubs. The Four of Clubs is a kind of oasis card. So welcome. We feel so grateful for the Four of Clubs. Mind you, in some older divination meanings, the card is called the Devil's Bedpost. But here at Giants Tarot, let's continue to create happy endings, shall we? And truly, the Four of Clubs gets good press. Not just from those who write about it, but because it is the Jupiter card in the Mars line. It has blessings. It is a four, so it offers security. It is a club card with an ability to communicate well. When it looks up to heaven for any ideas about how to use its energy for the best, it encounters the Five of Clubs, which, well, does hint at some dissatisfaction with how things are, but prompts the Four of Clubs to ask questions and see what more it can find out about things. Finding out about things? Finding out about what? Asks the Four of Clubs. Everything, including finances, seems to be working okay. Goals are within sight, only requiring steady plodding forward. The Four of Clubs is the square, and it becomes the cube. It's the fenced area in which we can do our own thing, strut our stuff, be inventive, build. It's foundational. Not only that, but it's loyal and dependable. It's protection. Because the Four of Clubs feels that everything it stands for is for the betterment of everyone, it decides to have a look and find out about some things. After all, it can then be shared to everyone else. The Four of Clubs goes straight to the Five of Clubs and says, "What should I ask questions about?" The Five of Clubs replies, "Everything. Start with the first things you have been taught." So the Four of Clubs remembers sitting in primary school, learning how to read and write. Surely not that far back. The Four of Clubs sits in its oasis of idyllic sunshine, prosperity and foundation. Heaven has sent a message, arriving via the Five of Clubs, to find out about the first things you have been taught. The Four has real staying power when it comes to research and written projects. Maybe the way to begin this project of finding out things requires a type of synopsis to structure and drive the research as it comes in. On a fresh, clean sheet of paper, the Four of Clubs writes a heading, "First Things Taught." Then the intellectual Four of Clubs chews the ends of its pencil and stares into space, thinking. Being taught is education. And education isn't just about formal schooling. Education is the action or process of being educated. It is also the knowledge and development resulting from the process of being educated. And then, education is the field of study that deals mainly with methods of teaching and learning in schools. So, education gives us all a sort of shared language to agree where we all are. In Edith L. Randell's book, Your Place in the Cards, by Fitzgerald Donnelly, the following is written about this. About this Four and Five of Clubs interaction. If I want to give you something to think about concerning today, check this out. The Five of Clubs is dissatisfied with the type of education sought and the decisions made. This, however, only prevails when there is insufficient knowledge to support the judgment. This kind of restlessness in connection with this card indicates that the birth card, which is the Four of Clubs, will try to cover up the faults of the displacement card, which is the Five of Clubs. The Four of Clubs will make an effort not to let others know of this restlessness. On the other hand, the Five of Clubs may indicate merely a wholesome desire for change in the name of progress. I mean, it's a big paragraph, right? She's taken a whole paragraph to talk about this interaction between them. And I mean, I must admit, in writing this, I'm just trying to sort of like write overall for any 14th of December for any time in history, because that's what the card is supposed to be about, not just this particular year that we're in. But how pointed is it so far with where we are? Okay. In cartomancy, the cards are presented daily in a descending manner. For today, the card is the Four of Clubs, but yesterday it was the Five of Clubs. So in time, the advancement of knowledge comes the day before. And then time descends, and then as time descends, the journeyman and his or her access to wisdom into less knowledge, or perhaps I should say less experience. Come on, this is so interesting, isn't it? So each day that you go along, the numbers in the cards are getting less. And yet the journey of the numbers, as the numbers go up, there's more knowledge comes in. So in time we are descending into less knowledge. Come on, this is so interesting. Okay, turning the page because I'm the newsreader. I'm presenting the news as it breaks, folks, on the 14th of December. The Four of Clubs, mild-mannered as Clark Kent, is actually a front for work of great importance. One of the great mottos of science is question everything. The Four of Clubs needs to understand that what they see may not be exactly what we are getting. The Four of Clubs needs to use its time of rest and relaxation to do some research, study, penetration, find out about some things. It may be a good idea to research and find out more before making decisions in the usual way. The Four of Clubs decides that from now on it will operate under a couple of new rules for itself. One, that laziness is not ever an option because only constant mental activity brings growth and expansion. Two, that words, paperwork, interactions must be well organised so thoughts, words and actions hit home if they are to be properly understood and make a difference. It is part of the job description for the Four of Clubs that unexpected events create disruptions. Sure, they do for everyone, but the Four of Clubs needs to use these moments to ask questions. Riding the bounty of Jupiter, remember it's the Jupiter card in the Mars line, can usher in a little complacency in times of disruption, but asking questions and finding out about things could be the best way forward. We are infused with education. We osmose knowledge through our intuition, imagination, memory and experience. The Four of Clubs can learn that creating its own basis of knowledge and experience, using its own spiritual equipment, imagination and logic, can build a prosperity that has more magic, more celebration than using the infused, mass-educated information coming at us from all sides. Let today be a day when you look deeper at what you are being told. The 4 of clubs is here to build a strong foundation. So build a foundation that serves you, your dreams and wishes. We are spiritual beings having an earthly experience. Get with the program. A bit of numerology on the side. It's 14. The movie. The movie of 14. The number 14, of course, is also a 5. Freedom is desired here. The 4, however, indicates work and creating order. Practicality is essential. This can bring worry. The material world is very much to the forefront of the 14's physical senses. There are warnings against loss of property and failure in business, at the very least, and there could be upsets and delays. 14 is also called a malefic or karmic number. 14 won't learn its required lessons if it tries to gain its freedom by destructive means. Rather than pushing or rushing in, exercising detachment will probably save the day. Its favourite song is Don't Fence Me In, but riding roughshod over others or forcing issues may bring loss or a very abrupt stop. Being in the family of 5, this is a number of experience, and given the potential ups and downs experienced by 14, due often to its lack of understanding, perhaps the best way to diffuse most trouble is to go the way of the major arcana card 14, Temperance. Boom boom, which is where we are at the moment, until the 21st of December. 14 is psychic and both constructively and destructively prophetic. 14 is lucky at gambling and will happily take a chance. Amidst this luscious flowing energy of psychic ability and luck is a caution, however. Remember, the 14th tarot card is Temperance. Moderation in sex, drugs and rock and roll and gambling will not only deliver a balanced life and intellect, but finances can be stabilized, relationships can maintain steadfastness, and projects and connection to all types will be seen as having character of purpose. If there is warning about 14, it is a lack of understanding. There are ways to develop humility and compassion, and violent endings are not the best way. Better to arrive at the desired at the desired unconditional love via a true effort to comprehend the motivations of others. 14 is sympathetic and emotional and can be reached through feelings. 14 often operates out of family or social obligations. 14 benefits from an early marriage as this steadies the 14. So the mission says, stay optimistic. No matter how humdrum things may seem, rapid change is due any time now. Follow hunches. Don't go to extremes. Careful of the sex, drugs and gambling. They can bring the 14 undone. Engage in business rather than artistic lines. Selling is a great field for 14. Business or healing concerning the eyes, nose, throat are compatible with 14. Land promotion schemes can bring success, so can activities or business to do with travel. 14 is good at dealing with money, speculation or changes in business. If risk is involved, a 14 could be there. The combination of 1, 4 and 5 is a welcome background palette to manifest major change. The work and practicality of the 4 grounds the numbers. More temperance. But temperance can be brought about here by confidence in the work done and the position held. Well, I could go on. I can always go on. Hey, come round and see me anytime. I'm here all the time. Come round. Okay, Grenville Kleiser says, make use of divine truth, December 14. To every problem there is always a solution. To every problem there is already a solution, whether you know it or not. To every sum in mathematics there is already a correct answer, whether the mathematician has found it or not. Correct answers to all mathematical problems have always existed, and therefore, while you may discover the right answers, you may not possibly create them. Isn't he clever? Come on. I've told you, haven't I, that he was married to someone called Elizabeth. Yeah, you've told us that, Elizabeth, about 20 times. That's okay. Sorry, don't mean to bore you. It is obvious from this that your principal work is the pursuit of any branch of knowledge in any... I think I better do this all again. It is obvious from this that your principal work in the pursuit of any branch of knowledge is not so much to create as to recognize, realize, and appropriate. It should be encouraging to you to know that if you are now confronted by any kind of problem, personal or otherwise, there is a way to solve it, and you will find the way as rapidly and as surely as you apply to it the principles of divine truth. Gee, I don't know. Okay. The Theosophical Society says for the 14th of December, let then, T-H-E-N, let then the anticipation of a fuller introduction into our mysteries under more congenial circumstances, the creation of which depends entirely upon yourself, inspire you with patience to wait for, perseverance to pass on to, and full preparation to receive the blissful communication of all your desires. Wow. Okay, here we go. Birthday book. This is a birth date of queer contrasts. In public relationships, it suggests the ready, persuasive, and effective talker or writer, and confers wide popularity and influence. Privately, it indicates contempt for conventional opinion. See how they all tie in? Can you see? The giants are amazing. It comes under influence of the fixed star Raziel Agu. A partner should be imperturbable and capable of a poker-faced aptitude for maintaining confidence. Well, I've certainly tried my best reading this lot. Listen, people, I'm on to part 2 now. I love yous all. Come round anytime. I'm always here.